Evening. Oh, I've done the spinny thing. Hold on. At the flippy thing. Hey, there we go. Let's just cut off that last little bit. How do I get that in there? There we go. That'll do. Thanks, folks. That's it. It's the second crack at this one. So what's multiple personality disorder got to do with what we're up to here? I don't know anyone with multiple personality disorder. I am certainly not an expert in the disorder. I have read as much as I have read about the disorder, mostly because it fascinates me, this subject of consciousness. What is our consciousness? What makes us us? And a lot of people would think that their personality, like this thing that's them, which is generally attached to some experience of the past and goodness knows what else people say, their ego or how they speak and all those things is them. That's part of their consciousness. And then we have this subset of human beings who literally have completely different personalities. They don't even remember stuff. And it's a complex disorder that spans lots of different areas. But if we could just break it down simply, because I like simplicity, you'd have a singular I, and then external to that I would be these multiple personalities, separate. They could even be hallucinations, and some of them have very, very elaborate lives, and it's fascinating, and it's difficult to see inside someone else's head. So I get that, how we, as observers of someone who's afflicted with a disorder like this, that how we perceive what they're going through is different than what they would experience. But it's fantastically fascinating in the space of, well, maybe our ego, maybe our personality isn't us. Maybe that's not the thing that's conscious. Like, it seems like this ability to quite literally create an entire universe inside of a singular, like broken, it's not a continuous singular personality, it's multiple separate personalities or separate universes. But the person is still conscious, doesn't matter how many there is. And I think that in itself is fascinating. Because what that potentially means is that, like, everything that I am in right now, all this stuff that I'm saying, the tone of voice, how I process information, how I process the past, how I'm going to walk into the future, what my dreams and aspirations are, they're not me. They're not part of my consciousness. They're just a shadow of it, or an expression of my consciousness, or an afterthought, or the leftovers. And that's challenging. It's a challenging thought to be with, certainly challenging for me. I don't know about you. And I think in a lot of ways we certainly have this ability, because we'll say things like walking into mile in someone else's shoes, and we're very good at it. When we read a book, we construct an entire world, and some people can really experience the thoughts and feelings of characters that aren't them. Very similar to this. Very, very similar. Not the same, but similar. And I think that's what the gift that people who have this disorder, they give us, is that we are not, who we are is not those things, not what I've talked about, not our ego, none of those things. That's super cool. I mean, it's freeing. So sadly, our ego isn't us, it's not conscious. Well, seems that way. Because if it was our ego, an ego seems to be constructed from experiences of the past, which have been really easy because current artificial intelligence learns like that, so it would have been sweet. But there's nothing like that. These things seem to be separate to this. You know, and I've been in programs before where they talk about like the little voice in our head, this little friend that we carry around to ourselves, and how the little voice isn't particularly kind. It's mostly not a very nice friend. And that's not us either. It seems to be attached to the thing called the default mode network, which is a pretty cool thing. You can go and check it out. But that's not us either. Because it seems like when you take LSD, that thing seems to go away. LSD seems to have an effect on the default mode network, seems to switch it off. And not only that, but the default mode network seems to switch off when you take actions, when you're in action, which is fantastic. So that's not us either. So we've discovered a few more things that aren't us tonight. But I do like the thought, I really do like the thought, that all of this is like all this stuff that isn't us, but more importantly the ego, these things, it's like who we make ourselves out to be is like the garbage of consciousness. Not like a bad way or anything like that, just like a shadow or the crumbs of consciousness. The effect of being conscious but not consciousness. That's pretty cool. Thanks. Awesome video. Messed with my head. Hope you're good.